Yo, 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 yo. What's happening? YouTube. Let's make sure we right as far as everything. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. Instagram, what's happening? Facebook, what's happening? How y'all doing this evening? I think we're a little bit. There we go. Perfect. All right. So we are on day 27. Let's see. We got to edit this on Facebook. We actually put 26. We're on day 27, you guys. We almost wrapped up. We're almost done. Let's see. Oh, we got questions coming in. Drop those questions while we go ahead and drop and get into this content and jump into this content. Day 27 of this 31 days, 31 ways to find wholesale deal series. Hope you guys have been enjoying it. Hope you have been looking back at the other videos for the past 26 days that we've been doing it. Been getting a lot of feedback. A lot of people getting a lot of value out of this. So I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. But today we're on day 27 and we're going to go over another way to find wholesale deals. So we're talking about wholesaling real estate. All right. So if you guys are not familiar with that, I've actually been wholesaling houses for the last 4 years. So if you're not familiar, wholesaling is basically you're kind of middlemaning real estate transactions. So you find a house at a deep discount. Motivated seller needs to sell a house, or they find you, and you get that property on a contract, and you turn around and you sell that contract. You flip that contract, not really the house, but the contract, to another individual, another person that's gonna fix the house up and resell it, or fix the house up and rent it out. All right. And that person pays you an assignment fee. So an assignment fee can range from $5,000, $2,000, $5,000, $15,000, $10,000 or more, you know, so it really doesn't matter. But that's what wholesaling is. And definitely go ahead and drop those questions. I see questions coming in. I am glad you guys are asking questions. But today we're going to jump into the 27 way, and the 27 way is to create bird dogs for you guys. All right, create bird dogs. Good look on the scripts. Oh, no problem. You guys can create bird dogs for yourself. Now, bird dogs is basically a term. Bird dogs is a term that basically is simply put is referrals. So people go out and look for properties for you. In exchange that they get a fee if you do buy that property. All right. So one way that you can do that is Craigslist. So you can put ads on Craigslist, and you can basically put it in like the real estate section of the gig. I think it's the gigs, or the labor section in gigs, and advertise for house hunters, for people to drive around and send you addresses. So that way you have a lead source that you're not actually out going and getting that lead. So bird dogs can be really essential to your business. I have a couple bird dogs in my business, a couple guys that actually just go out and look for properties, and they look for properties pretty much everywhere. I mean, Facebook, they look for properties out when they're out and about driving. And so a way that you can pay these people is you can pay them for each lead if you want to, or you can pay them for whenever you buy the property. So whenever it closes, so you can pay them out of your assignment fee. All right. You know, it's like commission based. So you can pay them between $500 and $1,000. That's what I offer. $500 and $1,000 depending on the deal. And if we buy the house, the bird dog or the house hunter will be able to get paid from finding properties. All right, so that that is a great way to leverage. You can leverage your time, especially if you have a job. If you're doing it part-time, leverage your time and leverage somebody else's time and let them actually go and look for the properties. All right. So that's a great way. So the 27 way. Let me see where we're at. We're at about 5 minutes. Yeah. But yeah, so if you guys think that you can create some bird dogs for yourself, go ahead and drop an emoji. Drop an emoji if you're on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. If you think you can put a Craigslist ad out or put an ad out on Facebook as well. Let everybody that you know, let them know that you buy houses and you will pay them an assignment. Well, not an assignment fee. You get paid an assignment fee, but a referral fee. If you think you can do that, go ahead and drop an emoji. I see a lot of questions coming in. All right, there we go. Now let's go ahead and jump into the question section. I like this section. Let's see. Did you have a real estate attorney for your first deal? Did I close with a real estate attorney? Yes, I did. I brought it to a title company, and we closed that deal with them. Excuse me. Ringless voicemail script. Mr. Ho, okay. I thought you wanted the call script. The call script as far as for incoming inbound leads. Now, as far as the voicemail script, I don't really have a script for it. We have I guess it is a script. I mean, we have a recording, but like I said, that's gonna be something special that I have for you guys coming April. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna be I have a whole course coming out for that. So you guys will be able to know how to do ringless voicemails and get your phone blowing up. All right. Let's see, what method has brought you the most deals? That's a good question. What method? I'll probably say direct mail. Direct mail, I mean, that's my bread and butter. Direct mail is my bread and butter. Let's see, do you give bird dogs a flat rate or a percentage of your profit? I give them a flat rate. So if a bird dog or a house hunter brings me a deal, then like I said, it's usually between $500 and $1,000. So it just depends. So if I make a good chunk of money, make over 5,000, then it may range. So if I hit a good deal, 10,000 or more, I don't have a problem giving $1,000 for that time. So it's kind of like whatever you kind of feel. Any tips on how an efficient way to find bird dogs? Not how, my bad. Okay. Any tips on a efficient way to find bird dogs? Okay. Yeah, like I said, Facebook is good. Let all your friends know. Make a couple posts. You can post, a couple times a week so people know. Craigslist is good as well. You can post on Craigslist as far as the gigs section. Where else? I'm just trying to think of free ways, because you don't want to really pay to post anywhere, but free ways, I would definitely say Facebook and Craigslist. You can do Twitter, you can do your social media. You got Instagram, post on there as well. Let's see, do your cash buyers know they will be paying carrying costs, and usually how much money is the cost? Yes, my buyers do know that they will be paying the closing costs. Yes, I tell them up front, and usually they know that they're paying. And it ranges. It kind of ranges. I would say it ranges between like $800 and $2,000. You know, $600 and $2,000. Depends on the deal, and then also it depends on, I think, their financing, if I'm not mistaken. So if they're getting like a specific financing, then they may have to pay, you know, more on the back end. But that's dealing with their bank and their financial institution. So not really sure, but typically it is like $600 and $2,000. So, and also if we're doing a double escrow, a double closing, then on the first end, on the A to B, so when the seller sells me the property, I'll pay that closing cost. Usually I have a good rate with my title company because we do so many deals that it's not that much. And then from B to C, on the other side, the buyer pays that closing fee. Let's see, you gotta have some bankroll for direct mail, and it's only like 1% return, right? It kind of depends. But typically, yeah, I think direct mail industry averages between like 1% and 5%. I think a lot of people still do it. A lot of people are kind of going away from it, but I mean, you can put it into your budget. You know, you don't have to do a huge campaign. You don't have to do like thousands and thousands of postcards. You know, when I first started, like I said, I was working at Jason's Deli, so I was literally using my tip money to send direct mail campaigns, and so it was. I'm trying to remember like how much I was spending. Maybe like $50. You know, I would try to do it every week when I was doing it. So, you know, I was kind of just doing it. 100 pieces a month for 6 months, worth it? I would think so. Yeah. I mean, so it'll be what, 600 pieces? I would do it. Just test it out. You really have to test the waters out. You have to be consistent. That's the big thing about this game, this real estate game, wholesaling, is being consistent. So, how do you train your bird dogs? Good question. I actually I put a couple of videos together to let them know what type of properties we're looking at, what type of properties we're looking for. So, I mean, simply put, just like we did at the beginning of this series, you know what to look for. I think the first video that we did in this series was driving for dollars. So I told them exactly what we look for as far as driving for dollars. So they look for the same thing. They look for houses that look beat up, houses that have high grass, you know, just houses that look distressed. And so they write that address down and they send it to me. Okay, let's see. Mailings are really good, especially in big markets when they make $30K to $60K each deal. Grind harder TV. Yep, I know some guys in my mastermind. They still make good money with direct mail. During the inspection period, do I need a contractor? I would say no. You don't really need a contractor. Or can I bring the cash buyers to the property instead, since they should have their own contracts? Yes. Bring your buyers. Once you have it on the contract, bring your buyers through. They'll tell you what needs to be done. They'll give you the feedback. Facts, consistency. Thanks, Mr. Hall. What was a key factor for you when you started? Key factor. Let me think back. Man, I really just have to say a consistency, because I mean, when I first started, I was inconsistent, and so deals will fluctuate, you know. So once I got it down pat to send mail every week, every month, have it going out every month, or have signs going out every month, then I was actually doing, like, I started getting consistent, you know, consistent deal flow coming in. So as far as when I first started, man, you really, even on a shoestring budget, you can be consistent. As long as you're touching motivated sellers, you know, if you're sending mail, if they're getting your information, that's good. So you don't want to kind of just fluctuate because somebody else is doing it consistently and they're going to call them. So it's timing. It's definitely timing with motivated sellers. And also, I mean, I would go back to, you know, it's consistency, but doing something every day. Doing something every day to possibly bring in motivated sellers. And that's another reason, that's just touching right back to why I did this 31 Days of 31 Ways series, to give you guys a whole bunch of different ways that you can implement every day to have your pipeline full. So really, I mean, if I were you guys, I would just start with a couple ways, probably a handful of ways, probably 5 ways, 3 to 5 ways, and just be real consistent with those 3 out of these 31 ways. So all right, let's see. Maybe I'm getting all these questions. Let's see. The key factor. I tell the sellers the buyer is my contractor. Yeah, I mean, you can say that. Honestly, my buyers, whenever my buyer comes with me with the seller, I tell the seller that the buyer is my funding partner. So now that's not lying. They're funding the deal. So you can use that too. So when I get them in the house, they don't try to go behind my back. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Thanks. They're putting out 50 signs a week. Should I put all in one zip code? If you're putting out 50 signs a week, should you focus on the zip code? I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna hit you with a question. How many buyers do you have ready to buy? How many buyers do you have that you know are gonna buy right now? Or maybe you don't have to give me a number, but do you have buyers on your list right now? Yes or no? I just ordered the signs. We buy houses fast cash. So Mr. Holt, do you have buyers right now? Do not have a buyers list. All right. Because if you did, I would say talk to those buyers and see what zip codes they are ready to buy in. And then you would focus all those 50 signs in that zip code. So that's what I would say. Now, if you don't have buyers, then you kind of, you kind of just taking the shotgun method and you're just shooting it out just to see if you can get something that works. I mean, I did it, when I first started, but if you can be a little bit more targeted, and actually target the zip codes that your buyers are looking for, that'll help you out more. But since you don't have it, you don't have any buyers, I would definitely target one zip code. Definitely target one zip code. You don't want to be everywhere, all over the place. I don't really know what market that you're in, but I don't want you to be all over the place. But definitely target one zip code is good. A lot of things you guys are gonna understand, like, once you really get into the business. Being targeted and being consistent is 2 of the main keys. in this business. So if you want to be targeted, like your list, you want to be targeted, your areas, you want to be targeted, the marketing methods, you want to be targeted, you want to be consistent, the areas, you want to be consistent. So it's like branding. So whenever they see your signs all the time, they're gonna call you. Maybe we have some more questions. Let's see, I would, Mr. Hall. I wouldn't put them all up at once to see where they stay up and stay off the light poles. Zip tie them to traffic signs. Works great for me. That's a good idea. Yep, that's a good idea. That's definitely a good idea. Yeah, I mean, if you got 50 signs, man, I mean, you really want to get the best bang for your buck. So I would probably say, I mean, you can take a leap out there on faith to drop all 50 in one zip code, or you can you kind of spread them out and just see what you get. You said when you get that tax delinquent list, how do you sort it? My list has over 15,000. Oh, so you already went and got the tax delinquent list? And how do you sort it? I mean, that kind of goes back to knowing where your buyers are going to buy it. So I would say target a zip code, but you don't really have any buyers right now. So I don't know exactly what's on your list as well. So I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's filtered by, I don't know if it's filtered by like zip code. I don't know if it's filtered by number of bedrooms or baths or size of the house, or how far behind they are on taxes. Tomorrow I'll tell you how many I get in a day. Okay. Let's see. Can I do a live call with seller soon? Or maybe upload one to your channel? I think that would bring us a lot of value. Okay. I was actually thinking about going live earlier. I was picking up a contract, but we were having a good conversation like on this guy's porch in front of his pond. So I didn't want to be, rude, I guess. But I will do that for you guys. And then I'm gonna look back in my Google Drive and see, because I think I recorded a conversation between me and a seller like a year ago. I'm gonna look back and do that. Appreciate that, Chris. Appreciate that. Good info. Any good tips, or do you have a video for cash buyers? Yes, I have a couple of videos for cash buyers. You can go on my channel and you can actually, you can, I think there's an area where, well, I think it kind of depends if you're on the app or if you're on the actual computer, but you can search my channel and you can be able to like type in buyers and all the videos that come up. Okay, I'm done with questions. Don't want to hold you too long tonight. I could ask stuff all day. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be here a couple more minutes. We'll probably wrap up soon. How do you build rapport with a seller? How do I build rapport with the seller? Let's see. I ask questions and I listen. That's like the top two things is ask questions and listen. So as far as asking questions, ask the simple questions, what's the situation with the property? How long have you owned the property? um, you know, how do you want the transaction to go? How soon do you want to sell the property? So with all those questions, that kind of opens up the dialogue. Now, as far as building rapport, once I'm going through the property, I actually see what they like, and what I like. If I find something, we talked about this earlier in the series. If I find something that I have an interest in, and I see that they have that same product or whatever it is that I'm interested in, I address it and then bring up in conversation. So that way, you can have a good conversation with that, because people are going to do business with people that they like and trust. So the way you do that, you can have a good conversation, and you listen. You ask questions and you listen, because they're going to tell you everything that they want to tell you about their property. So, for instance, quick example, the other week, I guess, probably like 2 weeks ago when we first started this series, I went out to a property and I seen that the lady had a DVD or a CD of Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins. And I was like, you listen to Tony Robbins? And she was like, yeah. So we went into a conversation about that, because I'm interested in Tony Robbins and she's interested in Tony Robbins. And so we got to talking about, Tony Robbins. So that built that relationship, that built rapport. So that's a good way to build rapport with sellers. Can I pay for over the phone conversation with you for an hour? If so, when and how much, and how do I pay? Actually, yeah, you can. It's on my website, brandoncalhoun.net. It's actually on the homepage. You can schedule a call with me. Let's see. Okay, I've got more questions. Is there a way a real estate agent will allow access to their MLS? Oh, that's a good question, Mr. Hull. Typically, no, they won't. Good info. No problem. Typically they won't. I mean, it just depends. You have to kind of be a friend of an agent to get access. Yeah, or you can feed them leads that you don't use. Yeah, that's bringing value to them. But yeah, typically I don't know if it's legal or not. To be honest, I don't know. But some people get access to the MLS, some people don't. Me, typically, I have friends that are realtors, and they send me comps. So, and then I have other people that I know that are in my mastermind. They have access to the MLS in their area because they're friends with realtors, and they just have their information. But also, I think there's a way for you to become, I think, like an assistant or something like that to an agent, and they can give you access. So, I mean, I can't really answer that. So, I mean, I would kind of ask, just not to use you can use my opinion, but you can have more opinions about it. I would probably ask that question on one of those real estate groups, and that'll get you a lot of feedback. Probably better feedback than from me. Oh, I can't see the emoji. It has a question mark. So before putting up my signs, how many cash buyers should I have? For deals will build your list on buyers. Yeah, that's true. Your deals will build your list. Yeah, once you have deals, it'll build your cash buyer list. That's the best way to build a list. But how many buyers should you have before you put out your signs? I would put out your signs. I mean, honestly, when I first started, I didn't have buyers. I mean, I went to the real estate groups. I knew who were buyers, so I guess technically, I knew people that would buy the properties, but they never did buy properties from me. And I still put out signs, so I just got my deal flow going before found buyers. What's your take on getting your real estate license as a wholesaler? Oh, good question. What's my take? I actually took the class. I was about to get my license, but I decided not to because I mean there's so many restrictions. Honestly, it can benefit you. I definitely see the benefit. It just depends. It depends on you. It depends if you want to. It depends if you want to. If you want to go that route. If you want to have the ability to list the properties, ability, strict guidelines. You know, you can't market in all the ways that we market. So it kind of depends. You know. So I wanted to have more freedom. I wanted to be on the investor side, stay on the investor side. So that's why I didn't get my license. Well, not yet. I just didn't get my license yet. I may still end up getting it. Let's see. When submitting contracts to closing attorney or closing company, do I have to put any money down, or is that what buyer is paying? Yeah, typically my buyer, whenever they put their money down, that's what is being put down on the property. Now, to make the contract legal, I have put money down before. So I mean, I typically put $20 to $100, and there's been cases where I put $500 down. I mean that's what people say. When I first started out, that's what I heard. $10 of earnings money. It's whatever. If they're motivated, they're not even gonna care. They don't even want money down. They want you to buy that house. They want you to close on the house, get it sold. Do you wholesale commercial properties? Last year we wholesaled a mobile home park. That's multifamily. I'm trying to see if we did commercial. Nah, we hadn't done commercial yet. If it's commercial, most of it's been multifamily. So. Which marketing strategies are restricted? Oh, you're talking about with agents? Well, whenever you become a licensed agent, I think whenever you're doing bandit signs, like the yard signs, you have to put licensed agent at the bottom. Postcards, you got to put. I mean, it's not restricted, so it's just you have to disclose a lot of stuff, a lot of disclosures. Stuff that just makes it kind of sticky, So as far as postcards, you have to put that you're an agent. Other ways, I'm trying to think. But I know, it's just a lot of restrictions, and I just wanted the freedom. Restrictions. Well, I'm sorry, not restrictions. It's just a lot of guidelines. You have to abide by, and I like my freedom to do whatever I want to do. But there are a lot of people that have their license and are wholesaling. So don't let that stray you. That's just my preference. My opinion. So you've been thinking, about commercial. Been thinking about doing it. Let's just say different. Doesn't matter how much the company is worth, but how much money it can make. How quickly are you finding deals in your business? Out of how many appointments? That's a good question. How many appointments does it take to get a deal? Man, I would probably say, because most times whenever we go out to an appointment, we are getting that property on the contract. So I can't really put a number on it. I would have to look back and actually, you know, give you a number, because I don't want to say a number and it's not, it won't be right. So most of the time, whenever we decide to go out to a property, you know, it's a deal, because we, like I said, we filter it. We filter the leads before we go out, before we make that appointment. As much as possible, we filter as much as possible. You have to tell everyone you're an agent, even when you do cold calls. That's why I didn't do it. Yeah, yep, exactly. With cold calling, you got to tell them that you're an agent. So yeah, I mean, you have to disclose a lot of stuff. I mean, disclose like everything. You're supposed to do it anyway. You know, as an investor, you know, I disclose it anyway that I'm gonna sell the property. You know, I'm gonna rent the property, or I'm gonna make a profit on the property. I tell them that. They understand that. So that's the disclosures. But I mean, as far as just being a licensed agent, you know, it just makes it a little bit more sticky, especially with like the boards and all that type of stuff. So they just try to find everything to slow you down. But I think we're right at 36 minutes. So if you guys have any more questions, go ahead and drop those on the video once it replays, or once it posts on YouTube. I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of here until tomorrow, where we go over the 28 way. Like I said, we're almost done, you guys. We are almost done. And if you haven't already, go ahead and pre-order your ebook. I'm gonna put an ebook together for you guys with all of the 31 ways, so you guys don't have to go back and look at all the different videos. 31 videos. You can just have an ebook. Go ahead and pre-order that. It's only $10 right now. It will go up once we drop the ebook on the 31st. So you can order that at my website at brandoncalhoun.net, or if you want the link, you can actually DM me, just message me. But that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of here. Facebook, I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. And YouTube, I'll holler at you guys tomorrow.